Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Peasant chat. That's right. The last peasant chat of the year. Kind of free format today. Not kind of like the last week or two of the year tend to be slow news weeks. Everyone just kind of checks out, takes off. We've been gone for a while now, and honestly, I really wish that parts started showing up, but a lot of people just took the last 2 weeks off of the year and just checked out until the beginning of the year. So hopefully the beginning of the year, I'm going to start seeing parts roll in. I did get a delivery confirmation for the Corvette power adder. That's right. The ZR1's power adder is on its way, and I'm not sure if I'm going to debut that soon. I'd rather get everything fitted onto the car, kind of let you know what I'm going to go for in terms of power adder. And do that. Jake has done a phenomenal job. Shout out to Jake at Power of the Hour. He has actually figured out the bell housing, and it was a lot simpler than we thought it would be. I just needed him to get over here and kind of have a second set of eyes look at it. Now I'm looking for a master cylinder booster. The booster on the brake booster, because it's a big round can. So now I'm going to have to find a narrower version or convert it to mechanical brakes so that we could get an inch or two the motor on the right hand side and center it on the motor mounts. And the oil pan has been finished. So, you know, the Corvette, if anything, is seeing the most progress. The GT500, I'm literally waiting for Kong to finish the blower. At this point, I don't know what to say. It's been over a month, so I just don't know what to say. At this point, I hope it gets done. I hope it gets brought here. Then it goes over to the Department of Boost guy. Then it comes back. So I'm just waiting, honestly. And that's one of the more frustrating things. And again, no fault of anybody, but I don't know. I guess when I ship shit out, I expect it to be done, but apparently that's not how it works anymore. So that's just going to be it. I'm going to keep the chat window like that because it just freezes. It just constantly freezes on OBS. There's nothing I could do. So Monty Vavording, Nick, Bilovesh, and Coyote Kelly douched on Wesley Stewart, TJ Skorsky, Z303, Camzilla. Bryson Webb putting out the links, the Patreon link, the Rich Print USA. Again, Rich Print USA, /YDBT. If you want to get merch, you want to get shirts, hats, stickers, whatever. Clean Out of UGT, Slow Sean, Robo Style, Blue Thunder, Mustang Dennis, The Wolf, Oscar, EPA, Valley 10 Speed. Valley 10 Speed is probably going to end up with a Turbo 400 before the end of the year. Bet me. Valley 10 Speed is going to figure out real quick that the 10R80 game is a battle of, boy, It's a battle of patience, attrition, and why are you doing it? Okay. That's what you kind of have to figure out, Valley 10 Speed. Why are you racing? Do you want to be the quickest 10R80 guy? Do you want to be quick regardless of the transmission? This is the problem you and many other people face when you go that fast. When you start going mid-8s or low-8s, the 10R80 is just not it. I understand a lot of people say, oh, this one, okay, cool. Maybe you have the only unicorn that lasts an event or two. But at the end of the day, usually after you beat the shit out of a 10R80 on the return road, it hates life. Look at any of the Cletus' channel. Every single time a freshly built, regardless of where it's from, transmission goes down the track, on the way back, it shifts like butt cheeks. So something's going to have to happen with the 10R80. There has to be a quantum leap in support. There has to be a quantum leap in build quality, because I just don't think that 10R80 is good for drag racing at all. Oscar Hassan Abbas, Big Guns, Matt Oliver, Gregory Upfitch, Hung Solo, Mohammed, Radioactive Fabrication, James and J, 50 Stallion, Black Hat, Ken McAllister, Honda Forever, EPA, Harley Jet Sled, Heath, Matthew Munez, Coobs, Bryson 10 second Z06. Let's go all the way to the bottom because this thing is literally about to freeze within the beginning of the show. Six is Corn Racing sending me, look, I know you guys like racing. I don't like racing. So like expecting me to get excited over a picture of an ethanol 1R can, I don't know what to do. If I see a 1 ethanol 55 gallon drum, I go cool. Like I don't go, yeah, let's go racing again. I don't give a fuck. I love you. I don't care about racing anymore. I love you. I know you're excited and you want me to be excited for you. I can't. I just can't. It's not in me. Hobson, Mr. Whipple, Salvador, Nathan, Master 10 second, Nat Jew, Bubba, and Daniel Martin. So this year has been an interesting year for me and the channel. We've broken a lot of stuff. I wish I could say it was something I did, and then I could at least go, okay, I fucked up and I could take accountability. And maybe I can take accountability this way. The Corvette being shipped out and being gone for literally months, fucked me. It just sat. It just sat somewhere getting a trans done. And at the end of the day, all I didn't really need it to be done because 1-2 grinded, but that wasn't I didn't care. It's a roll car. So I start in second anyway. So I probably missed out on 3 to 6 months of content on the Corvette. Then when it comes back, it gets shipped to somewhere else, gets tuned, comes back, blows up. So that kind of taught me a lot in terms of like control. Control of your projects is, in my opinion, the most important thing. You can't give up control of your projects to anybody because then it's not your project anymore, right? Like if I send my car out, chassis is different. Chassis setup, that's totally different. But powertrain, that's usually within your control. When others influence what to do, you lose control, and then you are driving that car around, but it's not really your build, your outline, the way you wanted it done. And sometimes I understand guys when they're spending big money, if they're super picky because they want it to be their way. Now, understand this, if you want your project to be your way, sometimes that's not the best outcome, depending on what you want to do, but you can then call it your own. I am in a weird zone where all I want to do is go fast on the street. I don't care about racing at the track. It's boring. It's stupid. It's a waste of time driving a car for 20, 30 hours to race 8 times for less than 10 seconds each time. Sounds retarded to me. I'd rather build a really fast street car that still has AC, still has heat, still has all that stuff. And then you can go out there and enjoy it. Maybe do a roll, a half mile, take it to a rental, but mostly it is going to be a car that you fuck around with on the street. No, not dig racing either, because there are no dig spots in Florida like that. Most people just do roll stuff, and I just want to have a nice cruiser. So once these cars got out of my possession, that's when projects got out of control. And I said, okay, that's enough of that. Like the GT500 motor, in all actuality, it should have gone to the first person that built it the first time. Believe it or not, out of all places, there's a local shop here that built that motor. It lasted 4 years. It should have gone there. At least then it's in Florida, and I can at least reach out and touch somebody. But at the end of the day, when you ship it out to another fucking state, you have that separation between you and that person, and the accountability goes away. Same thing happened with the Corvette. And, assuming certain things are going to get done, kind of put me behind the 8 ball, and I said, okay, well, that's not going to happen anymore. But what's the consequence of that? I have to work on everything. I have to have ultimate control of all parts. And that's the problem, where it takes away from time from me giving you content, racing, teaching stuff, because all I'm doing in my free time is working on the cars, and that's not fun. There's nothing fun about working on cars. No one on earth ever says this is a fun thing to do on my day off. No, but again, you still have to have the gym stuff. You still have to have a regular life. You still have to have the home life. And then in your absolute free time, which is probably 2 to 3 hours a week, that's when you work on the cars, and it's just not fun. But that's what's going to happen next year. It's just going to be me buckling down and working on these cars, because I can't trust anybody out there, because I lose control of the project real quick. So you're not going to get me videoing myself wrenching on the cars, because that's stupid. Let's be honest. What the fuck? You gonna watch me wrench on a car? No, I'm not that good. 2, it's absolutely boring. Who the fuck's gonna film it? I'm not gonna do that. I want to get the project finished. Once the project is finished, then I film the content. I'm not gonna film myself working on a car. That's lame shit. But we'll talk about it. What do you guys got planned for 2025? A lot of you are into going, personal bests. A lot of you have reached that threshold of being a semi-quick street car. Now your car is a fucking built race car, which again, I'm not a race car fan. The Fairmont is going to be a street car. I am not building that car to be a dedicated track racer. The reason it has a cage in it is in case I fucking hit something. I'm probably somewhat protected, because that car was built like a potato chip. Cue the Stone Cold Steve Austin music. Some shit floating around interweb saying her 10R is lasting. No, I see you guys are taking everything. Okay. So the problem is her comments were open-ended. She said, if you don't know, if your 10R80 is not lasting, then you don't know anything about transmissions or tuning. Well, the problem is this. The biggest critic of the 10R80 is me, right? I'm the guy that's the most public, the most vocal, the most anti-10R80 guy there is. And I had a blue check mark put on that comment by Jake at Power by the Hour, somebody who works on 10R80s, somebody who works on 6R80s, currently has the quickest, fastest ever 6R80 ever built, and it is in the Grey Goose. So I'd like to think that the guy knows something about transmissions. So when he says the same thing I say, but he actually gives you a real good explanation about clamping force, and then I basically, parrot that comment, and then that person says that, it makes you go, okay, it's too open-ended. And then she apparently later backpedaled or clarified her comment and said, no, not Lund. So do you guys think, let me ask you guys a question. That was an interesting thing. When you receive a tune from myself on your car, do you say it's Lund tuned? Let me ask you guys a question. Do you, when Alejandro Flores, Alex Flores, Lund Racing employee, sends you a tune and your car runs good and you go out there racing and you have a good time, do you say it's Lund tuned? I would say it's Lund tuned. But there's a weird thing that's going on out there, and it's because of, I think, this channel. A lot of people say, Alex sucks, Lund is good. So imagine if Lund hires a guy, lets him work remotely, has been employed for over 10 years at Lund, just about 10 years. And then you hear people say, Alex sucks, Lund is good. I go, wait a minute. If you say Lund is the best, that means Senior, Junior, Dakota, myself, and any other person that is employed at Lund. It's like saying Fuel Tech, right? If you think Fuel Tech is a great product, you don't say Fuel Tech is awesome except this guy right here who is part of the Fuel Tech team. So there's a weird thing that's going on out there in social media space where people say Lund is good except Alex. So this is what I'm saying. Why don't they fire me? Like, if I was so bad and if I was such a negative towards the company, why don't they say, you know what, Alex, you're no good. Every other car that's being tuned by everyone else here is amazing except you. We think we should part ways. So that's the funny thing when people say Alex sucks, but Lund is good. I go, wait, that doesn't make any sense. So then they'll say, well, Junior is good. Senior is good. Well, Senior doesn't tune that car and Junior doesn't drive that car. It's a team effort. So when the car goes to a track, the parachutes, the transmission replacing, the turning around of the car, the fueling, the checking the checklist. So when you look at that car, what do you say? Do you say Junior's a bad motherfucker or Senior's a bad motherfucker? Or is Lund, the company, bad motherfuckers? It is an interesting thing that goes on out there, and it's personal spite. It's all personal spite. People don't like when I talk truth about them. It's not talking shit. It's talking truth about them. When I call someone a thief, I have proof that you're a thief. When I call someone a rat, I have proof that you're a rat. If you want me to air that dirty laundry, that's not a problem. But it is an interesting thing where people go out there and make that distinction of, no, Lund is great, but Alex sucks. So when she said that comment, I think a lot of people started saying, whoa, Alex at Lund is the one that really hates the 10R80. And then they say, well, no, Lund is great. Well, I'm sorry. Alex, Power by the Hour, and most people that work at Lund feel that the 10R80 isn't great at a certain power level. You'll get maybe a half a season out of it. Whereas a 6R80, you can get seasons out of it at a similar power level. So take that for what you will, but I don't think she was taking shots at anybody. I have a 2015 F-150, says Alfredo Diaz, as a daily, and I test drove the Gen 2 Raptor since I thought about upgrading the 10R. Is noticeably clunky. It's not even funny. It feels like it's going to break at any moment. Tuned by Alex at Lund, says Nat Jude. 25 plans, says Heath. His Raptor suspension swap in my 18 crew cab. Put a fresh motor and trans in it since 90,000 miles. Not sure on Power Rider yet. Leaving Mustang alone. 2650 going on my Gen 2 Coyote swapping this winter. Nice to see it. Victor Montanez says, for 2025, I'm trying to get my BMW 335i E92 N55 into the 9s. My personal best has been 10.6. Big Daddy Patty says, my plans for continuing to piss off S650 guys like FLKA, showing my MT82 Gen 3 outperforms similarly equipped S650s? Is that what you said? S650s? S650s. It's Lund tuned, touched by Alex, exactly. Borg tuned, it's YOLO tuned, absolutely Lund tuned. 2025 says Valley 10 speed, turbo 400, and FFRE short block. That's going to be an interesting one. If your bottom end holds up, as a matter of fact, you talking about badass bottom ends and what a car needs and what a car doesn't need. Eric Vega the other day, you know him as 50 Code Red. He has a low 9-second, like a 920 or a 930 ESS equipped S550 and stick shift. And I did not know this, but the guy sent me a photo last night. He goes, by the way, just giving you a heads up that this part has been on my car. Where is it? It might be on Facebook. Let me go on. I hate Facebook. God damn it. I hate Facebook. But what are you going to do? Eric Vega, here he is. Yeah. So Eric Vega sent me a picture of this right here. And I think it was very interesting to see it. This is his oil pump gear on his S550. ESS has been 920s, 930. It's a stock oil pump gear. And that one made me laugh because I've been saying that as long as you don't hit a limiter, as long as you don't hit anything, you don't really need anything. In terms of what was I saying? Where's that going? In terms of an oil pump gear, as long as you're not slamming a rev limiter, you're okay. But he does have a watt box. He does leave on a 2-step, and somehow his oil pump gear survived. And I thought, that is interesting. How did your oil pump gear survive? But the internet was, I swear to Christ, the internet will tell you that you need an oil pump gear for anything. And that's been one of those crazy things that's been going on since the Coyote days, the outset of the Coyote days, where misinformation is going on left and right. Parts houses are not telling you the truth. And I don't work for a parts house. I'm not here to sell parts. I'm here to work for Lund Racing as a tuner. And a lot of people are going to ask me the same question. Based on your experience, Alex, do I need an oil pump gear? Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. Joe gave me the best analogy ever. He said, when you go banging, you don't necessarily have to put on a condom, but it's a good idea if you want to be safer. And that's the same methodology I would put out there. But the problem is this, which oil pump gear? Now, there are unfortunately many choices. Now, Ford Performance, the GT500 Geo Rotor Pump, and their billet oil pump gears, in my opinion, has now been at the top of my list because Ford Performance built one for the GT500, and it is a Coyote, and it fits all Coyotes. So if you're going to upgrade, if you're going to upgrade your oil pump gears, Ford Performance, and then you go try to find a set of TSS if you don't want to buy Ford Performance stuff. And then number 3, I would say MMR stuff. And that's where the list ends. And that's all I have to say about that. The list ends at MMR. So number 1, Ford Performance. Number 2, TSS. Number 3, MMR. Same thing with a crank sprocket. Ford Performance sells a billet crank sprocket. I think TSS does too. And MMR does also. So there you go. Sullivan, a shout out from Orlando. What's up, Timothy Sullivan? Also, racing is a big money loser. I don't see how people do it sometimes. So what are the moments that stick in your head the most when you have your hot rod? Let's say you have your hot rod every night. Go look at it. Go outside. Go outside or go in your garage and look at your hot rod. And go, when was the most fun I had with this car? I guarantee it was never out of track. I guarantee it was never out of track. I guarantee it was some night you were out there cruising with the boys. And y'all just lined up and went back to back to back. Tight races. Tons of fun. Pulling over, grabbing a bite, gassing up again, like the Texas days. When I lived in Texas for that 1 year, one of the more fun times I had with my black car was with me, my ex-girlfriend was with me, and we went out racing NA stuff. So we went to a meet, I think it was Wolfie's, and we hooked up with a bunch of NA guys. What do you got done? NA. Oh, we all rolled out, and we lined up, and we all raced each other. And I think I had 8 or 10 races. Then we came back to Wolfie's and we talked, hung out, had a good time, dapped it up, went home. That was probably the best time I've had in my black car. The second best time is when John Lund Sr. was with me. We went to Palm Beach International Raceway to take care of a customer. A shit-talking homo that constantly doesn't know how to shut his mouth, kept talking shit. He had a Coyote-swapped Fox body, 6R80 car with a V3 or a V7 JTB, whatever. We went out there on Beeline, raced, and I beat him in the quarter mile. Yeah, he went by me after the quarter mile, but, you know, the race was at a quarter mile. With Senior's 250-pound, my 220-pound, on the street, beat that car because he was just spinning his ass off the whole time. Those two things stick in my head the whole time. Every time that car went to the track, it was a negative experience. Broke something. You know what I mean? Like, every time you got to go to the track with super built dumb shit. So I think the best memories I've had in any of my hot rods have been on the street. Ask Valley 10-Speed. How many times has he had great memories at the track versus great memories on the street? It's not even close. It's great memories on the street. Alex, I have a set of Gen 2 heads. I picked up to rebuild some exhaust valves that are tulip. Any recommendations on new set of valves and springs? Look, I'm not a machinist. I'm not a machine shop. Obviously, there's Ferrera valves out there. Obviously, there's Pack 1234X springs. So Pack 1234Xs. Get a set of valves, but take it to a shop that you like, that you trust. Head Games is out there porting some stuff, so check them out too. You know, any stock cars I've seen people do oil pump gears on? You know, any stock cars I've seen, did you mean how many? I don't know what he meant there. I think, any stock cars I've seen people do oil pump gears on? Bro, I don't even know where to start with that sentence. Giving the car shit rest, giving the car shit a rest for 2025. Had a lot go wrong with both my cars this year, so I'm trading them in tomorrow for a reliable four-wheel drive SUV. Nothing wrong with that. Head Games in the house says, what about the melting pump instead of doing the gears? Let's not reinvent the wheel here. Let's not get crazy. It's worked on 1,500 horsepower cars. Stop with this aftermarket oil pump stuff. Please stop. Oil pump gears from a GT500 have made over 1,500. 99.9% of the people on the planet will not make that kind of power. You don't need anything above and beyond that. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Don't introduce alternate thought processes in a vetted combo. It's over. It's done. Stick a fork in it. No reason to get a melting oil pump. Jesus Christ. I need supplicant connectors in 2025, says Amir Zahir. S2K says, 2022 Mustang MTD2 or buy the Mach 1. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck what you do, honestly. Like, I don't know what you want to do. It's an open-ended question. Should I buy the MT82 or the Mach 1 with the 3160? I don't know. I don't know what you want to do. I have no idea. I really don't know. Dropping a like, I'll catch replay later. Street stuff is always fun. Alex, remember hitting me up and running around TX2K14? I know you remember me, but that was the YOLO days. Heath, I'm sorry. I don't remember many people in Houston because I knew one guy, Tim Jackson. He was awesome. And most of the other people that I kind of remembered are people that I worked with, but I don't remember a lot of people that I hung out with afterwards. Honestly, I was in my own zone. I was miserable in Houston. Let's be honest. I was absolutely miserable. I worked at a hot rod shop that was just awful. I worked as a Caterpillar diesel power systems tech for like a millisecond. I worked at Lansdowne Moody for a millisecond, and I was so happy to get the fuck out of there. God damn, that state is that city is just ass. I had to get the fuck out of there. Would you be down some runs on Beeline between your 0-1 when you're ready? I don't know who you are. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I'm gonna race my friends. I don't know who you are, man. No offense. Jesus Christ. This is the problem with people that call me out. They're trying to step on me to get to somewhere. Hey, you want to do some friendly runs? Then they show up with 80 GoPros, 500 cams, those little mini cams that people use for rolling shots, and like a news crew with a chopper. They're like, oh, these are friendly runs. We're not going to film it. Oh, we're not going to film it? We got 17 GoPros sticking out of the shit all facing towards me. These aren't friendly runs. What you're trying to do is get a name off of me. And this is what I'm going to do going forward. I ain't racing nobody I don't know. How's that? My MMR gears failed, says Bretton Horn. Sorry to hear. Good morning, Alex. Everyone will check the beginning of the show when it finishes. My father-in-law has a spare Turbo 400. Should I skip building the 10R80? Plan on boosting it next year. Well, the problem is this. Is it just a fucking run-of-the-mill 400? Just a regular bitch-ass 400? I mean, you need all the Billy Badass stuff. Like, getting a Turbo 400 and getting like a billet gear, badass valve body, dump valve, manual valve, that's a completely different thing. A Turbo 400 from a car from the 60s and you just throw clutches in it, I probably would not do that. And what gear set does it have? Radioactive Fabrications, agree with that statement, Alex. I've been building a 25-2 chassis Coyote Fox for class racing, but finally remembered that I have way more fun doing street style stuff in events over class racing. Class racing to me is an absolute losing proposition unless your business thrives on that kind of racing. Why are you racing? You're not going to get famous over racing. You're not going to become a millionaire racing. If anything, just like Senior said, the only way you become a millionaire racing is if you start out with $2 million. That was the best statement Senior ever said. And when was that? It was at World Cup when the Blue Goose did the wheelie and smashed the whole fucking front suspension. It was the beginning, the chain of events, the domino effect of that week are legendary in my mind. I'll tell you what happened. Senior and I went to World Cup, I forget what year, 2018 or something. And then we had 315 tires on it. The car went out on a test session and it ran 7.5. Came back, we found a air leak in one of the tires, right? So it had a puncture. And we're like, shit. It was very slow, but it had a puncture. Now, Mickey Thompson did not have 315 5017s. It did, or 315, 5017s. Nobody had them, couldn't get them in time, so we slapped on the 305s. Big mistake. We go out there, slap on the 305s, it breaks a axle hub. Breaks an axle hub. Wait a minute, that was a different year. Because the following year, we did the big dumb wheelie and smashed everything. Man, maybe I have my years confused. So, because the following year, Junior came down, and that's when shit just smashed up. The previous year, we just broke everything. We broke transmissions, we broke hubs, and I'm like, this is a really terrible experience. So the following year, we did the big wheelie transmission, the wheelie thing, broke everything. And Senior was like, you know how you become a millionaire drag racing? You start out with $2 million because it is just a losing proposition. Now, I don't know what got up a hair up their butt to build the Grey Goose and go after it. Maybe it's just to set records. I get that, but I don't want to. I don't see an uptick in class racing. Meaning, hey, build that, go set a record at a rental. That's the way to do it, and that's the way you get the most bang for your buck. Building a car, driving for 20 hours to Texas or Maryland, racing for a weekend. Not only no, fuck no. I don't want to do that ever, ever, ever again. It is awful. I'll go racing locally. Orlando, Bradenton, Gainesville, South Georgia. Yeah, there's 4 tracks within 5 hours of me. Why am I going to drive to Texas? Why am I going to drive to Maryland? No, thank you. Thoughts on trading my 1,000 horsepower red-eye Charger for a Gen 5 Viper? Ooh, I like the Charger, but I'm bored of it. Don't got the time to drive it much anymore. The Viper will sit nicer in my garage to collect dust. Yeah, so trade. I hope you have like another $100,000 on top of your car to trade, unless it's a bitch-ass Viper, like a regular GTS or whatever. But it's still badass. I will always say to get the car that will... See, the Gen 5 Viper doesn't drive well. I've driven Gen 5 Vipers when I worked in Houston, and they don't drive well. They're just like a badass car. It's just a badass car. Now, Charger versus Viper, easy. Viper, all day, every day. Like, not even, and 3 times on Wednesday. Like, all day. But it's going to sit as much as the Charger's going to sit, because I think the Charger's a more comfortable car. What about the time you and Donnie went to Mexico and got some runs in, then Taco Bell to prove it? Exactly. Again, some of the best times I had in the black car was street stuff. And now I might get caught and get a ticket and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just think it's more fun. Road racing was much easier. So far, the track is cool, but man, my stock motor been chilling while the 1080 been on some bullshit all the time. Yeah, I remember those days, says Heath. We trolled hard together back on Facebook. I lived in OKC at the time. F Houston. I'm in Florida now too. Hey, shout out to you. Is your last name Dean? D-E-A-N? If that's the case, then I remember you. I love your content and knowledge sharing, even though I don't own the platform you speak of. It prepares me for the day I do. Thank you for taking the time to spend good info. Dios me lo bendiga. I think he said me lo bendiga. But so yeah, I'm blown away that you don't. I get it. People will say that Alex doesn't know anything. And then if you look at my 1,700 videos that I have on the channel, a lot of them can be looked at as a guideline how to build a semi-quick street car. Now, we're not talking Billy Badass stuff. And even the Billy Badass stuff, the guys really don't know what the fuck they're doing. Most don't. Very small handful do. Most don't. Like when you go to the track, you figure out a lot of guys are guessing. A lot of guys are guessing where the car lines up. A lot of guys are guessing. They're going by experience, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, you're guessing. And, you know, when based on my limited experience, I suggest very simple things. How many of you have been told to get a set of Warriors, a set of this, a set of long travel shocks, this control arm, that control arm? And then I say, put two 50-pound sandbags in your trunk and do it. And the car hooks. And I think it's the experience versus the part selling. If a person that's selling parts suggests for you to buy parts to make your car hook on a roll, and then a guy that has no skin in the game selling parts says, throw 100 pounds in the trunk, see what that does. And then the 100 pounds in the trunk works. The people that sell parts are going to say, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. That guy doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. I don't know why what the fuck. And then what I do works. Again, I am never interested in the Billy Badass level of things. The low 4-second quarter miles. Hell, a high 4 is plenty for me. And because any quicker, you can't drive that car on the street. I want to be able to take the Fairmont, turn it on, wet deck, drive it for an hour, without it overheating, without the transmission puking, nothing, just driving. And then, like a drag and drive car that isn't super fast. And then be able to take it to a track, bump in, run my 7.9, and go home. That's all I want. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, watch, I'm going to build the Billy Bad. No, I don't give a fuck about that. Even if you have the Billy, like having the 6R80 record does a lot to people that want to have a 8-second 6R80 car or a high 7-second 6R80 car. Nobody's looking at the Grey Goose and going, oh, we could build a 6-second car. No. They're going, if it survives in the 6s, well, shit, it'll survive in the high 7s and low 8s in a 3,500 pound car. That's what that does. But if you have a turbo 400, dry deck, billet, 25 whatever the fuck spec, running 390, tell me who you are selling product to at that point. At that point, it just becomes, we want to go fast because we want to go fast. Nothing wrong with that. But I am not interested in any of that stuff. Bitch has GT in my price range, laughed my ass off. And honestly, privately, I can get a $65,000 to $70,000 mainly. Oh, bitch has GTS. Gotcha. Like 100K. I'm entering my midlife crisis, weekend cruiser life. When you're young, you want to go racing and you want to prove anything to everyone. That's when you go the most broke. That's when you go the most broke. Now, the guys that have a lot of money, they race in their older years because they have the money. They have an established network. Sometimes they need to burn up some money. So what do? They set up a racing team. They go, oh, let's call it blah, blah, blah racing. And you can just burn through money instead of giving it to the government. Because let's say you have a business that produces a couple million a year. If you just squirrel that money away, the government's going to want half of it. And you're like, well, fuck that. If I'm going to give away $500,000, why don't I set up a race team, some LLC that just loses money? And it loses, let's just say, $500,000 a year. So give it to the government for free or build a race car. Street racing is full of a bunch of people that don't want to pay when they lose and they want to squabble. I don't do regular street racing, meaning My thoughts of street racing is not setting up a race, setting up a pot, going out there. Because let's be honest, that's a shop versus shop thing, right? Like what, and I'm sure Valley 10 Speed has come across this issue. His car is built by him. Stock motor, built his own 10R80, did all the work himself. So he goes out there, and because his car is his own, people say, well, that's a shop car. So what happens? They say, I don't want to race a shop car. Well, what do you mean? This is my personal car. I work on other cars, but it's not like the shop, meaning 15 guys, put money in to build this car. This is my car, and I own the shop. So people go, well, I don't want to race a shop car. Well, what's a shop car? Alejandro Flores has a YDBT kind of LLC situation going on. Let's say the 01 comes out to play. Is that a shop car? Is the GT500 a shop car? Hell, is Donnie a shop car? Is the Fairmont a shop car? Hell, is the Cadillac Escalade a shop car? It's weird. My Civic is so much better at roll racing than the quarter mile. I was told that LOL and sandbags work. Right. Bryson Whip probably went online and said, hey guys, I want to go racing. What do I do? Oh, you got to get these long travel front shocks. You got to set these. Then he goes, Alex, what do you think about these parts? I'm like, throw some sandbags in the trunk. Oh, would you look at that? Alex, what do you consider to be a badass street car? 800 plus horsepower. Absolutely. 800 plus is to be respected. Rear wheel. We're talking rear wheel taste speaks. Depending on the weight of the car. Obviously, an 800 horsepower CTSV is quick, not fast. But yeah, I think 800 and up is to be respected. I have all those parts on the rear end and still spun on a 60 roll until I did the YOLO Bryson Witt cheat code, 4 bags of sand in the trunk. So this is what people do. They roll their eyes at me. I guarantee there's people in this industry that roll their eyes at me. They go, oh, this dumb motherfucker told them to put sandbags in the trunk. And then it works. Why does it work? Because I tested it. I tested it on my personal vehicles. That's right, my personal vehicles. I tested this theory. I said, the Fairmont was spinning its ass off at 800 wheel. Then I put a 2.8 pulley on it, and I would say that's a 900 wheel car. And it was spinning. Had a drag radial, so it's not helping me on the street. I think a bias play on the street helps me a little more at that power level. But I was like, damn, how do I get this thing to hook? Then I went to Home Depot, and I put 2 sandbags in the trunk. And I went out there, and I was able to record a 4-second 60 to 130. I don't want to say letting off, but it did a 4-second 60 to 130, and I wasn't in it the whole time. So I'm like, okay, like, guys, a 4-second 60 to 130 is terrifyingly fast in a potato chip Fox body that is square. So, do I have that video? That video was so cool. The phone fell over. It was just, again, pitfalls of money 60 to 130. Pitfalls of working by yourself. Ah, what a car. I'm so happy I still have this car, bro. You have no idea. You have no idea how happy it makes me that this car is still under my possession. Everything about it, I love. Anytime you want to play. What is something going on with YouTube lately, guys? Have you noticed that YouTube just doesn't play quick anymore? There you go. 60 to 130. Let's see. Yeah. It just like stopped playing quickly for some reason. It just kind of like, it used to be badass and now it's like super slow. Check out the keys. Look at all the shit flying around. Oh, I missed that car. I miss you, Hush Money. You'll be back. Don't worry. You'll be back with a cage. So that was the recording of the GoPro, but then I had the phone recording the 6130. You see how it kind of like bugged 140. Jesus Christ. You see how it bugged out? It seemed to like stop recording a little bit. So I started at 50. Oh, you're supposed to start at 60. Shut the fuck up. So if you're going by the sound, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause when I let off. So you guys can kind of see where I'm coming from. Hit the fuck out of here. Bitch coasted to a 490. Bro, that bitch was so bad. That car was... See, you don't understand. That car was an 8.7 second car with a 3.0 upper pulley. That is 15 pounds of boost. Pfft, stop it. That bitch was bad. Shit, 5 seconds is crazy. Knowing I put it all together, could only imagine 4. My shit has been randomly laggy. Yeah, YouTube has just been weird. Heath says, I had a 12 GT full bolt-on, 150 shot on E85, basic setup mods was 275 ET Pro, but 2 full bottles and a sandbag in the trunk for weight. Worked amazing. Old Asian Fox guy suggested it. Look at that. I love that shit. Bro, the smile through almost had you, like you were happy that it was fast or happy that you didn't die. I think it was both. The Fairmont was it was a bit of a scary car in terms of, it wasn't scary fast. It was scary like, I might die. I might die. This thing is like, if I crash, I'm fucking dead. It's just a Spix in the house. Says, checking in, about to go to the gym for the 6th time this week. Good for you. 5'10", 165. Bro, you gotta eat. 165. Bro, you should be eating cake and downing chocolate milk nonstop. Bench 225, deadlift 225. Been hitting the gym since April 32 and in the best shape. I'm like, good for you. You know what? You'd be good at 185, 190. 185, 190, but ripped, no gut. Bro, you'd be good. 5'10", 185, 190, and bring your lifts up. So I should record it just to say I did, but I've been hitting 3 plates on the bench consistently now since I started taking creatine. Call me crazy. I said because I always struggled. This is what I would do. I do a set of 15, 135, 12, 225, 12 reps, and then I would do 275. And I could only get about 5 reps in. And then I'd rack it, and I'm like, God damn it. You know? So then I started taking creatine, didn't really think about it, did my regular routine, and then the weight started feeling a little lighter. And then I took a 2-day break, and then did bench again. 135s felt like they were flying. I'm like, all right, fuck that. Right to the 225s. And I only did 10 of 225 because I didn't want to, burn out for the top set. And then I put 3 plates on the bitch, and I repped off 5 reps. And I was like, should I record that, or is that super douchey? It's super douchey, but I should record it for me because I recorded myself deadlifting 400, and I still have that on deck. I recorded myself squatting 400. I still have that on deck. But if I can get myself benching those 3 plates for, I want to say at least 8 reps would be impressive. So I'm working towards that, but it'd be douchey. Sounds like he was hazing the tires the whole time. Absolutely. I would be really happy with a low 460 to 130. Found hidden gem on your channel with some Borla Atak on the OG black car. Borla Atak. Where? Slow in the S197. Show me the link. Alex, the mount for my LRX stopped holding. Do y'all sell just the mount? Tay Speaks? Yeah, hit us up. I think we do, but I'm not 100%. How is the guy's car doing that you sold that powertrain to? So that guy, I'm not going to say his name. He has a kind of a prestigious job and he doesn't want to be like put out there that way. But the car is racing high 900 horsepower Evos from a roll and holding its own. He is now going to pulley down to a 3.0. He has been on a 3.5 upper pulley, 15% lower, which is what the stage 2 kit is. And the car has been running, I want to say low 5s. Or mid to low 5, 60 to 130, maybe 4s, because he's keeping up with an Evo that gets it. So I'd love to know what that car does 60 to 130, but it's running great. Like I said, pulley down. You got the fuel system. The car's light. It's a mini tubbed Fox body. I'm like, and put weight in the trunk. And he's like, man, you're right. So he got new 325 ET Street R's. I think he's going to get just wait in the trunk and go out there and try for like a 4-second 60 to 130. Hey, Valley 10 speed. For some canes, do we have like what are these profile pictures people have? This is like people with Down syndrome. ESS depends. Okay, ESS or Whipple for 800 wheel daily. Either. The Whipple will have a little more torque at low RPMs. The ESS will feel like it has way more top end, but both are equally good and it will feel really fast. Either way, whichever way. The easier install is the ESS. Quad and clip, both are good. Depends on how you want power. I'm bulky right now, and I was 160 just over a month ago. I'm getting back into the gym. You mentioned creatine, but what other supplements do you take and recommend? Honestly, this is the way I do everything is one at a time. I take one thing and see if it works. I have tried 4 or 5 different pre-workouts. None of them do anything for me. So I have whatever in me that prevents me from being energized by, pre-workout. It just doesn't do anything. A black coffee with sugar does the same as any hyper, death explode in your asshole pre-workout. I just never had any. So I started taking creatine. I didn't notice anything for a month. And then after like the 6th week, I actually tried to lift heavy and it felt easier. So I'm like, okay, that works. Because, if you take 15 things at the same time, which one is doing something? My joints feel great. That's the biggest issue when it comes to lifting heavy. When you're older, your joints. So the joints feel great. I did a heavy leg routine yesterday. Heavy leg shit yesterday. It sucks. Today doesn't hurt. It's usually the day after. Like 2 days after the leg workout is when your leg's about to fall off. You think I would need a tire on Whipple or both? You would need a tire on both Quan clips. 800 horse is 800 horse. You still need a tire. He put it in his Fox, right? Yes. So if you go to my Instagram page, it's there, and I put a little Camel Throttle tune in. That clip pissed off so many people, and it's funny that it pissed off so many people because it pissed off people that I think wanted to tune his car, and I'm like, it was part of the package deal. He bought it. He bought the car or the parts on the car. He bought it under the assumption that I would tune it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll tune it. And I put a reel up of it a while ago doing a Ghost Cam Idle deal. And the car probably right now makes high 700 wheel. I think I did a story. Yeah, this car. This is where Hush Money's old power plant is in right now. This thing is dumb. It's got AC. It's got heat. It's got a good audio system. It does not have a roll cage, but it is mini tubbed. TIG Vision did a lot of the work. Lujan Motorsports installed the motor. It's just beautiful, and he did a really good job on this car. So I don't think I have a Cam Loped Idle clip of it somewhere, but I thought on Instagram I did, but I cannot find it. Let me see. Nope. No Ghost Cam Idle tune clip. But it was that car gets it. That car is a cool little car, and the guy also has a really high horsepower Evo, and they race each other all the time, and it's keeping up with it. What's the main reason for getting rid of the Coyote swap? Because of the install, etc., and do you regret it? So the next logical step for the Fairmont was a cage. It became unusable on the street. It became something that was just overpowering, not fun. Oh, I had tons of electrical gremlins. The car was kind of put together hodgepodge, and we just threw it together, and it had electrical gremlins, it had fuel delivery issues, and I was just done with half-assing that car, and it had no cage in it. So in order to afford other things, like getting the GT500 going, I said, this thing just sits. I never drove it. It's not legal to go to any track. And it's ridiculously dangerous on the street, and it has fuel delivery issues and that I don't want to diagnose. So I said, let me just sell it. And because it's just sitting and I got good coin for it, I was able to flip that into other projects and just have money. And then when I come around to it, I'll go ahead and get after it. Now, initially, that car should have been done years ago. Why? Because when I dropped off the car to get the motor sold, part of that money was to have that shop do the cage. Do the front half, do the back. I said, let's mini tub it and let's do a front tubular deal. And the car sat for months. So that got me salty on that whole project. So I got the car back because I just didn't trust the guy anymore. And it sat because, out of sight, out of mind. But I got some money and I was like, let me do a proper roll cage in it and it'll give me a little motivation. And it has. It's sitting in the garage right now. Every week I do something on it. So, Would the lead frame make trans brake act up 6R80? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if it's dirty. What power did Hush Money make and what quarter trap? I can't remember. 157 and it made up like on the 3.0 upper, it made, I don't know, like 850 through a 6R80. Adding more gas in the tank helps a lot with traction for me. Before bulking, I was trying to get lean enough for a six-pack, but fuck that. I'm trying to focus on getting stronger, building muscle, give me all the damn food. God, I wish I had your problem. Fuck, I wish I had your problem. Unreal. Jeremiah Camp, what's up, brother? Good morning, good morning. How's things over at Utiki? You haven't hit me up when bitches are out. I thought you were my wingman. I thought you were going to be like, bro, come through, bitches are here. No, I haven't gotten shit. This is the same guy with the Black Viper. Creatine is supposedly one of the best supplements you can take, and that's kind of what I'm concentrating on. Hey, Alex, should I go through the hassle of trying to get my OG N-Gauge updated or get an LRX or SCT device? If your N-Gauge is not fucked up, right out with that thing. Best games I've had were on steroids. I don't recommend. Real good, creative, caffeine, all you need. I think you meant creatine. I'll say it again, Lujan does badass work. He really does. Someone fill me in on what happened to Donnie. Did something break? Yes, the drive shaft U-joint. I put in a brand new drive shaft that I bought. Not brand new. Used drive shaft, but it was in the Grey Goose. So I'm like, no big deal. And a U-joint failed. U-joint failing caused a massive vibration at the transmission. The bell housing of the transmission cracked, which then cracked the motor. So a perfect storm of shit going forward. Somehow I limped it back home. So I'm hoping the torque converter's okay. The internals of the 6R80 are okay. And replace the case, put the internals from the 6R80 into a new case, and go back out there and do it again, and hopefully it doesn't blow up. You showed us the clip live. That's where my profile pic is. You didn't have the drivetrain from Jean Grey. Yes, it was Jean Grey in a 600 lighter pound car. Now Jean Grey had gone 9.1 at 153. The same drivetrain in a Fox body that's heavy, 3,500 pounds is heavy for a Fox body with me in it. It went 8.7. That power plant had fueling issues since it was in the red car. Exactly. I'm dead hooking on the factory Magna Ride FP Lower Springs on a MT305. Dead hooking. 3,800 stall. Dead hook. So you're dead hooking at a track with Magna Ride and drag radials? With an ESS car? Come on. Of course you're dead hooking. The centrifugal doesn't make enough snot down low to cause an issue. You basically have a drag tire. Magna Ride doesn't give a fuck, and you have a low torque output supercharger. Of course if you don't dead hook, I'd say you'd have an issue. Man, you have the worst luck. Now people said, Alex, this car shit isn't for you. If it was my work breaking stuff like this, I would understand. The U-joints failing. And I've seen, guys, we've had customers that have been on the dyno that have had a brand new drive shaft. Listen, a brand new drive shaft on the car break, and it wipes out the trans and the motor. It's happened many times. This one was now my turn. Now, why don't I do 6th gear F-150 pulls? The drive shaft. Have you seen the drive shaft on an F-150? Have you seen that sucker whip around with a... I don't want that car. I don't want a F-150 drive shaft on a dyno, going 160 miles an hour at the top of 6 or the top of 4th if it's a 6R80. That's why we do 5th gear dyno pulls on F-150s. Fuck the dyno number. As long as the tune is on point, go out there, go racing. So if you're whipping around a drive shaft really fast and you have a U-joint issue or a bad weld or something, shit can happen. And it happened to me. Michael Weatherby says, well, that means Donnie probably won't be seeing any racing or draggy times until next winter. Exactly. You're 100% right. That car will not see anything probably till next winter. The Corvette and the GT500 are cars that can probably get done by the first quarter of this year. But the problem is this. Parts. Don't get me started. I'm literally probably going to buy a front feed 2650 just to have it. That's right. Another $3,000 so that I don't have to wait. I'm just tired. And people go, you talking shit about me. No! I got shit to do. Fuck, man. Like, I got shit to do. What do you think's going on? You think we're just fucking around? It's weird. Ricardo Vasquez. Deal. I got a Gen 2 T56 swap. My 3 valve and spend roughly $15K to make that happen and still be NA, or sell my 3 valve and find a used 07 to 09 GT500. Seen a few 25 to 30. Goal is to run 9 stick. Deal. Gen 2 T56 swap my 3 valve. Okay. Should I Gen 2 swap my 3 valve car with a T56 and spend roughly $15,000 to make that happen and still be NA, or sell my 3 valve and find a used 07 to 09 GT500, seen a few for 25 to 30? Well, a GT500 07 to 09 is not tune friendly. It's not bad. We can tune it, but you need aftermarket wideband. You need, some stuff. You need a TVS, right? Either a 2.3 from a Trinity, or I should just get a used 2.3 and throw it on the fucking GT500 and see what that runs. Because I'm just fucking tired of waiting. No, but I need the displacement, 2650. You need a fuel system. You need a better transmission. You need a better clutch. So you're going to buy a 30,000 GT500. You're going to spend almost 2,000 on a clutch. You're going to spend 3,000 or 4,000 on a blower, injectors, fuel system, cold air, tuning. You're going to be into it for $42,000, $43,000 to run 9s. Is the motor in Donnie salvageable then? No, motor's no good. It cracked. It cracked at the starter mount and the 180 degrees apart. No, the motor's no good. It idles, but right now it won't start. Why won't it start? Because the starter's hanging off of it. The starter mount broke. So, can't even start it. It's no good. Can't be the broken tabs on Donnie's motor to be welded. Who the would you trust that? If the starter mount broke and the other part broke, you would trust that motor again and put a brand new 6R80 case behind it? Come on. Let's get real here. I broke one and tore all the tail shaft off an OAD 97 all stock like that. You mentioned something about using the cracked Gen 1 motor as a test stand. Yeah, mock-up parts mostly. Yeah, it's not going to be something I'm going to run. Slow Coyote says, that's the reason my 13 GT, I don't feel confident dyno in 5th gear with my MT82. Truck lost a drive shaft on my buddy's dyno. It wasn't pretty. So yeah, bad U-joints should be replaced. Dums. How do I know it was bad? How do I know the U-joints were bad? It was in a 2,300 rear roll horsepower car, and it was used for like 2 track sessions. Here we go. Put the link of the OG black car with the Borla attacks in your Patreon general chat. Okay, Patreon. Let's see. Patreon general chat. That's the place to go. We talk all the shit there. Good times. I'm waiting to see if anybody goes in there and does snitch shit, because they will eventually. Oh my God, what an old video. Jesus, you're not kidding about an old video. So I had Borla attacks, but everything else was stock. This was when I was doing that, what every S197 owner does. He puts on 15 other exhausts and then test what they sound like. Ugh. I got rid of them shortly thereafter. Yep, I said, let me try these. I hated them. I settled on GT500 single tip axle backs. The best for that car. My bad for not phrasing the question properly. Got a limited amount of characters per message on here. Understood, brother. Front or rear joint failed. Front closest to the transmission. If it was towards the back, I don't think I would have had that much damage, unless the rear end might have exploded. But the front U joint failed and it took out the transmission, and it was like a pop, because it happened at the top of like 120 miles an hour. 120 miles an hour. How fast is the drive shaft spinning? And then a U joint goes whoop, and it throws the angle way off. That's why I'm hoping the internals of the transmission are good. Guys, that's like a $6,000 build. That's like a $6,000 transmission, bro. I've been waiting 2 months to get my blower back from the same gentleman. Oh no, Kevin, really? So it's a thing? That's not good. That's too long. Damn, you really have to take down the Hialeah to have an old Cuban lady take that brujeria off that bitch. Powder plates. I have an old one Coyote, New Edge, and I want a blower. Put a blower on. I have a single 525 10 gauge wire. You think I could slap a blower on Whipple and run my single pump for a while, or should I do a fuel system? No, you could do a single. You could, as a 525 is better than a stock fuel pump, and a stock fuel pump with a booster pump doesn't flow that. So as long as you stay on 10 psi and pump gas, you should be fine. So are you going to stick another Gen 1 in Donnie, or just skipping back stock motor game and going to a Gen 2 or Gen 3 block? Michael Weatherby, I have an illuminator, 11-to-1 compression illuminator that used to be on another guy's car, and I have a set of Gen 2 heads accessible to me. So more than likely, unless something changes in the near future, I'll have a Gen 1 illuminator, Gen 2 heads, and I'll probably slap a set of comp cam stage 3 cams on it, and then put, oil pump gears, do it all because I got to do it anyway. Do it all. And what I want to do is just motor out, motor in. I want to build this whole motor. I don't want to have to take mine out, disassemble parts. No, I want this motor completely built so that I can take this motor out and put this motor in all within like the same day. And if I can't do that, then I won't do it. Fuck it. I don't want to do this, put this motor in, take all these parts out. Fuck that. Motor out, motor in. And look, I have the funds, I have the means, so why not try it, right? When you have the money, and look, the house is not going to happen for at least a year. I've been saying that for 3 years. And every single time I pop my head out, the houses are more and more expensive. So I'm like, well, there goes that. I'm trying. Don't think that I'm not trying, but I'm trying to get stuff out there. The chat just died. So I'm kind of blown away how I do nothing on the computer, then the next day, the stuff works differently. And I'm like, see, that's why when people talk about computer stuff, I said, shut the fuck up. Donnie is a non-starter, right? Flowmaster Outlaws are worse. My point about dead hooking in a Magneride car is you can run mid to low 9s on a factory suspension. Dude, Army Ed, I love you. People have run low 8s on a stock suspension. Love you. People have run low 8s on a stock suspension. I'm saying stock springs, stock shocks. They just throw a 315 tire on it and try to keep the nose from going up in the air. So the Keltrack stuff is a gimmick. Is a gimmick because you're buying parts based on somebody's thought process that has been proven not to work, and people eat it up. I gotta set my alarm. Always late to the Peasant channel. We don't mention that junk here. Exactly. No limiters on the stage 3 cams, correct? No, I'm gonna put limiters on it. I'm gonna put 20-degree limiters on it so I can phase -30 on the tune. So what happens after you're done with the Donnie build? Build it or sell it. At this point, if I'm putting a motor in it, the whole plan all along was to put a built motor in it, but it was fast forwarded by like a year. So who knows? We'll see. Valley says, Alex, I have to find a new shop location. My lease is up and I want a bigger place. The problem is no one around here wants to deal with automotive lease. Same here. In Palm Beach County, you can find a garage. And the first thing they say is no body shop, no mechanic. And I'm like, so you want to lease this for $4,000 a month to store cars in it? Or for general storage? Nah. So yeah, I'm in the same boat, brother. Miss John Bailey, thank you for I think he gave me money. Will there be any issues running boosting at every fill up? So I'm gonna be honest with you, Daniel. It depends on your location. 91 octane, if you're in California, Carolinas, certain parts of Texas, is decent. So maybe your 91 octane will tolerate 14, 15 degrees of spark advance. So if you're boosted. On a Coyote NA, how much power do you think I'll get from headers compared to stock manifolds and FFE? That's a good question. And so let's say, for instance, you have a bone stock Mustang and you do cat deletes. You gain, let's say, 20 horsepower. Let's say on the dyno it made 380, and then with cat deletes it made 400. I don't think that with headers you're going to gain 20. I think you're going to gain maybe another 2 or 3, and you're going to lose torque. because of the restriction, right? Less restriction, less torque. So when but you'll make more horsepower. So it all depends on where the power comes in. If it's a manual car, if you leave it above 5,000 RPMs, you probably won't feel that much of a torque loss. But around the town, you'll feel that it's less torquey with headers. But the horsepower gain is worth the torque loss. So if you have cat deletes and you made 20 with headers on top of the already cat deleted car, you'll probably make a couple more, but not that much noticeable. Probably just spark plugs. Yes, the spark plugs is something you're going to have to replace often if you use octane booster on your car all the time. Ricardo says, Alex, hope this isn't stupid, but would a carbon fiber drive shaft would prevent the carnage? I had one shatter on me at the track and the damage was just a drive shaft. That's a very good point. If you have an aluminum drive shaft, would you rather the carbon be the fuse than the engine and the trans? Now, a mid plate does not guarantee anything. I know Bondobird said, oh, that's why I run a mid plate on my car. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to run a mid plate in case, because if the damage is really bad, remember, my drive shaft is still attached. It's not like it came off and dangled and caused issues. One cap failed on the drive shaft, and I'll do a carnage report when I get after it, but god damn it, that's just more work for me, man. I'm just tired of working on cars. I could probably do that. Right? But the thing is, I already did that on the, if you're a member or a Patreon member, I already uploaded a video of the carnage. So, okay. So if a cap fails, all right, a little C-clip fails, and the drive shaft goes severely out of balance, and it causes crazy vibration, and those vibrations move themselves forward and crack stuff, I don't know that the carbon part of it is going to be deflecting enough to shatter before it transfers vibrations forward. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a saving grace. Storage only is bullshit. I see people who turn them into bar hangout spots now. Before I bought my house, I couldn't even find a place to rent because I changed my own oil. Hello, Alex. Are the batteries in your smoke detectors okay? Yes, they're fine. If you had an extra deep pockets, name 3 cars you would get or build. If you had extra deep pockets, see, you're not going to hear the words Lambo, Ferrari, McLaren. You're not going to hear those words out of my mouth. You're going to hear weird shit. Obviously a Gen 5 Viper, Nth Moto. Here you go. Hey, I'll get a Gen 5 Viper ACR full taco. Like the whole wing, the bullshit, the super aero shit. Drop it off at Nth Moto. Say 1,500. What do you think is something that I can live with on the street, still have fun, and not really get beat by much that makes over 1,500? And he'll probably be like, all right, this package, okay, here you go. Another $400,000 later. Okay, here you go. Boom. Gen 5 Viper, Nth Moto build, H pattern, not sequential because I'm not a homosexual. Okay, so then that's, a $500,000 build. Car plus, no more, maybe $600,000-$700,000 because the car, it's 200 plus, right? An ACR Viper is 200 plus, right? What's an ACR Viper going now? Go for now. ACR Viper for sale. Car Gurus. Well, you can't find a ACR Viper anywhere. Gen 5. Gen 5. It's like good luck. Right? Like you have to know somebody to buy a Gen. Let me see, Gen 5. Boy, look at these cars. 125,000. That's nice. I don't want to swing that. Gen 5 Viper Viper ACR for sale. What should be like? Bring a trailer. Holy shit. Here we go. Okay, let's check it out. We're doing hypothetical stuff. Extra deep pockets. Okay, any ACRs? ACR, what's this? What's VX1? Oh, look, it's actually going down. Thank God. Okay, yeah, that blue one's bad. That blue one's badass. This one's up. This one's down. 109,000. Well, that's kind of cheap. But let's say this is like, I think the market, right? 3 for sale. Where? Where? Well, where the fuck are they? Here we go. For sale. Price undisclosed. ACR Extreme Arrow. Okay. I like how I'm looking at these cars. Bro, I'm broke as fuck, right? Oh, my Lord. It's pretty. So, I buy this car. Wow. I buy this car. I drop it up to nth mode. Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at this thing. This thing is bitching, bro. See the outside. Come on. See, the internet's fast here. Oh, yeah. Suck my dick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Give me that. So, I buy this. I drop it off to nth moto. That's a $200,000+ car, right? $200,000 car. And then another $400,000 for the build. So, that is, that's number one. So, that's $600,000+. Number two. You said 3. An S351. 99 S351. But it would be full taco also. Meaning built small block forward stroker, 460 cubic inch or something. Or 427 or 418 or whatever. Air to water, supercharged. Still have like a vortex centrifugal situation on it. But again, 1,000 horse. E85. So yeah, 99 S351, ACR Viper, nth moto situation. And what's the last vehicle? Like dream car stuff. Yeah, you're gonna hate me, but it's probably gonna be a Chevy. It's either gonna be an old Nova with like a roadster shop chassis, or a Chevelle, like a big old Chevelle, low, big cubic inch, stick, dumb. I'm trying to think of a car that kind of exemplifies what I'm trying to say, but there's been some guys that are building like big bodied cars on like a roadster shop chassis, 9-inch, big wheels, tucked, low, big cubic inch, high 500s or 500s, 700 NA rear wheel horsepower, something like that. Just dumb. Coyote Shop 90s Caprice, no. Wouldn't it be just luck of the draw? Doesn't seem like that would help. Did you film the pull when it broke? I did, and I did not save it on the Draggy. I just hit no to save by mistake, and because I got out of the car, I looked around, and it was still recording, and I did not save that session. That's why I run PVC pipe as a drive shaft. If the drive shaft is going to be junk, either way, one gets to save the motor and trans. I've seen the carbon fiber drive shaft explode, and it looks like confetti shooting out from under the car. D, I'm looking to buy my first GT. Found a 16 with 50,000 miles for 19,000, but it's in Miami. Nope. Do not buy any cars in Miami. Our S197 quarter panel replacement safe. Cars used the way we use them. Wait, what the fuck? Our S197 quarter panel replacement safe. Cars used the way we use them. Low mileage GT500 with 70,000 in the quarter panel damage, and wife wants me to total it. 44,000 insurance. If I can repair it, I get 32K. I would repair it. Fuck, I would repair it as long as it's not structurally jacked. My Gen 1 made 410 with headers and high flows and LE47s, and I ported 18985 with a Lund Flex Tune back in 2022. This was right before Lund stopped doing Flex Tune. Flex Tune does not make any extra power. It's just the fuel that does it. With E85, it'll make some similar power. Gen 5 Viper production numbers look shockingly low. I didn't realize. 6R80 only rev to 6,900 RPM. Another shop said they don't rev stock motor Coyotes past 7,000 on the dyno. Thought it was weird myself. Was expecting 420. Yeah, that's why you don't go to those fucking shops, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That shop did some weird shit. I don't want to mention their fucking name. Not bad. Curious as to what my Gen 2 makes. Same setup, but I've got a Boss Manifold 6R80 as well. Yeah, I'm on a dedicated E85 tune, and it gets it. Put 2 cards in an 85 10-speed Lund card the other day. Little Lund versus Lund action. Nothing wrong with that. 05 06 4GT is the go. No. Nope. And 05 to 06 4GT is cool to look at. I want to drive the shit out of these cars. Like, I want a car like a ACR Extreme to stop, turn, and do crazy roll shit. That's what I want. I'm behind the live, but holy shit, you've had luck, Luke, with DI, with Donnie's domino failure. Like I did? Okay. Wait, you never bought a Z06 with a regular vet engine in Miami? What's the problem? Exactly. Question for you, Theo. Are shift cylinder failures common under 100,000 mile 6R80 F-150? Dealership is trying to blame the tune for the failure. Yeah, no, the tune did not cause the failure. If your clutches are worn early, you could say it's the tune. But if the shift solenoid gets stuck, how the fuck is that a tune issue? Just have a good body shop. Fix it. Do a quarter panel as it is in structural. You think? Thanks, Theo. I got itch, but I'll wait. Good enough has my 2012 GT shifting at 7,600. Exactly. That's what I have mine shifting at. I have my Gen 1 shifting at 7,600. No problem. Alex says, Lund tune for water meth kits. Well, Nazir Al-Azami. This is the problem that a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are doing this weird LS logic where they're staying on pump gas, but they do water meth. And I'm like, okay, are you doing it for an octane supplement or are you doing it for IAT or both? So then they're like, well, I only have 95 RON where I live. Okay, well, get race gas. Buy a case of Boostane. Now, theoretically, if you set up the spray pattern in such a way that I don't have to do a goddamn thing to the tune, meaning you spray just enough to not have the car trim out fuel, and you get the added benefits of the meth and cooling, octane and cooling, without me having to touch the tune, cool. What would I have to do in the tune if you're going to drown the car with meth? I'm not going to pull fuel from the math. I'm not going to pull fuel from the watt lambda table. I'm not going to desire a different watt lambda because you are dumping meth and water down the fucking throat. If I were you, I would tweak the meth kit in such a way that the tune doesn't really have to change all that much, and you get the added benefit of the octane and cooling of the water meth kit. That's what I would do. But a lot of people do this, especially in the Chevy world. Tune it for meth. So let's say watt lambda is, 0.70 with water meth. Well, you go on the tune and command a leaner lambda, or you do something to take into account for how much meth you're shoving down his throat. So then let's say you run out of meth one day and you do a watt pull. Well, that watt lambda is different because now the meth is not being injected. We don't do that. You, in my opinion, should set up the meth kit so that it sprays just enough to give you octane benefits and cooling benefits, but not so much that I have to change the tune on it. I'm not a big fan of any of that shit at all. I would just rather get octane. I would just rather you get octane booster or race gas. If you're racing. Are we racing? Are we racing? Or are we fucking around? If we're racing, get race gas or octane booster. This weird water meth thing has just been goofy from the get-go. If you're a Chevy guy, I get it. If you're a DI guy, I get it. But not if you have access to race gas. What throttle body do you recommend with a VMP Gen 3R making 1,000 horsepower? A fucking Whipple throttle body. A Whipple throttle body. No VMP throttle body is worth shit. A Whipple throttle body is what you should get. Okay, good. I mean, you can spend your money where you want, but you guys aren't tuned by Lund, but come in here for advice from a guy that works at Lund. Weird. Wait. Did someone say that? What's happening? Search for Big Daddy Patty says, I mean, you can spend your money where you want. So what happened? Did someone say something different? Hit me up because I got to see what's going on here. I think a flex tune really holds its back. Alex said before the 85 tune is much more aggressive. Correct. You're talking about good enough. Gotcha. Manual full bolt on Gen 3 RST stock trans. What should I be shifting at Theo? 7,500 RPMs, like every other Coyote with stock cams, 7,500 RPMs. Race gas is expensive, but pay to play. They had my car for close to 3 weeks going on headers, mid pipe, and Lund tune. Lund tune? How long ago was this, Michael Weatherby? Because we haven't tuned for them for a very long time. Mercury Motorsports says, got to be careful, like Alex is saying, about fueling the motor off of the meth. I've had friends melt motors down from the car from being in closed loop and pulling fuel, and the meth doesn't distribute properly. 1R, call it a day. Right. 132 millimeter throttle body. Exactly. Lifestyle. I'm telling you, like, I don't trust throttle bodies. To me, this is what I trust. That's what I trust. A stock Ford throttle body. Now you guys are going to look at this and go, well, that's not big enough. Oh, it's not big enough. Well, why is it that on 10 PSI, this throttle body produces the exact same horsepower as a Whipple 132, as a TJ67, as a CJ65? Why is it when Power by the Hour sells somebody a stock throttle body blower tune setup and they put it on the dyno, the car makes 620, 630? And then when they put a 132 or TJ67, it makes like 8 more horsepower. Oh, it's 8 more. Control, good electronics, tuning is cake. Why would you fuck around with anything that's not stock? And if you want bigger than stock, you get yourself a 87 millimeter throttle body from a GT350. I'm at that. I'm there now. I am there. I am at the point where I think the aftermarket, it's such shit that I only fucks with stock stuff. No, I was talking about HPJ. They don't use Lund anymore, Michael. Exactly. June, July 2022. I literally paid for device and Lund tune. Okay, cool. Then that's a while ago. It's funny how once you come to the lives enough, you learn what questions to ask and what not to ask. You don't look dumb and don't piss Alex off. That's exactly what I adapted. A stock throttle body, my Predator blower. Exactly. Or if you want a bigger throttle body, you get an 87 millimeter throttle body. 2024, and we're still talking about throttle bodies. Feels like all of Alex's info is in one ear, out the other. 304 Street Killer says, what about E30 mix? It's stupid. It's stupid. If you mix E30 in your car, you're a fucking retard because you believed Whipple. You believed parts houses. Show me a racer that shoves E30 and pump gas in his car and races. E30. Why not E40? Come on. Why not E40? Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Why not E50? Why not E23? What about E42? If you want to play that stupid fucking game of having 91 octane, which is, by the way, E10. Wait, you don't want to have that conversation, do you? E10. Pump gas is E10. So now you mix E30 with 91 chocolate milk and 10% ethanol, and you're like, oh, I totally made a... If you can't afford E85, if your fuel system doesn't have the capability of using E85, use pump gas and octane booster. Pump gas and octane booster. Or race gas. But nope. It's 2024, the year of E30 and parts houses saying, yeah, E30 is what you should get. Even Sunoco went as far as to make an E30. Could you imagine the mind-blowing nature of the retarded methodology of making a specific E30 blend that is 70% race gas and 30% ethanol? Why not just use race gas? Oh, the cooling. Oh, the cooling. Got it. The cooling. Understood. Bro, there's some stupid people out there. S650s are ever tunable. I guess that's one of the benefits of the dual throttle bodies. Keep them stock and drive like a boosted with turbos and stock throttle body. That's like 3 years. Only 2 valve guys ask what throttle bodies to put on their car. Woo! Thank God I paid for a Lund tune and didn't get the absolute. I get absolute irate. Especially 304 Street Killers gets it. Why not E85, right? E30 to get in the guts. If octane is the name of the game, why do ethanol blend in the first place? Cooling, you could say the cooling effect, but again, if you're NA, none of that shit fucking matters in my opinion. Because 90% of the cooling is achieved at E30. Here we go. Did you measure it? Did you measure it? Show me the measurement. Remember the YouTuber who was upset that his Whipple on the 24 Mustang didn't make the advertised horsepower? Oh, man. Someone said an LS is cheaper to build than a Coyote. I was trying to explain that you don't need to build the internals of a Coyote for 800 to 900 horsepower. Just get a Gen 2 truck engine for $6,000. E30 BMWs are only E30s that are good. Nice. That's funny. If 85, you mix 93 with 85 to get E30, bro. Yeah, exactly. They're like, duh. I run E10. My shit runs great. Good morning, Alex. 11 months sober. Darrell Washington. Watching your content has been keeping me motivated in the automotive world as well. God bless. And who says this show isn't influential? Happy New Year, Amy. Wishing all the best and hope everyone off you run your PB. Gotcha. What about E30R? Exactly. And then Dustin get... Wait. Whoa. Oh, you're talking about E30 shit. Okay, gotcha. Ricardo Vasquez says, I think I speak for a lot of us when we'd love the part 2 review of Jeremiah's camp. So Jeremiah went through the same shit I went through with the same shop. Jeremiah is now learning that it's better to work on your own car than to trust shops. Not all shops. I mean, most shops do a really good job. But the shop that he took his car to just fucking let the car sit. And he's like, what the fuck? So he took it back. Now he's in the middle of fixing everything. Alex, I think I speak for a lot of us. Oh, we got that. Alex, Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Building a Coyote requires putting shit on it, not in it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good way of putting it. Building a Coyote requires putting shit on it, not in it. That's actually a very good way of putting it. An 18 manifold, a cold air, or a blower. Literally a blower and sending it down its throat. Alex, building a Coyote requires putting it. Got it. Had to check it out. Skiing here in New Hampshire. I'll catch the replay. Good for you. It's 9:56 o'clock. What are you talking about? Would anyone recommend Brent Speed over HPJ on the same deal, more or less? Need a trustworthy shop for 2025. Brent Speed seems fine. I don't know much about Brent Speed's work. And again, I'm not going to speak, on it because I don't know. But Brent Speed seems to be capable. I just don't have any personal experience with the gentleman, so I can't recommend. That's the big one. Recommending requires me to have personal experience with these people. And if I don't have personal experience with these people, I can't recommend them. Just like that. Would anyone... Okay. SCT Performer says, one thing I love about the Carolinas is running across random gas stations out in the sticks that have both the 85 and race gas at the pump. Wonder what's going on around here. Exactly. Alex, remember that purple fuel from Chris Miller Racing? Yeah, FTW Purple. I talked about it on the street rate. You know what's funny? How many of you have noticed that after my interview on the Street Alpha podcast, you have had guys on other podcasts literally parroting what I'm saying? Talking about the Terminator video, doing all the burnouts, talking about what the fuck else was talking about on the Street Alpha podcast that a lot of people parroted. Well, mostly the Coyote stuff. Like all of a sudden everyone's going on podcasts and literally just saying what I said and what we've been saying on this channel for over 5 years. Live chat into New Year's, Amory New Year's special. No, fuck that. That is really sad. No, thank you. You guys don't want to be on New Year's, and I don't celebrate New Year. I'll be asleep. So which car are you actually excited about getting finished? None. None of them. The Hush Money. The other cars are just content and I'm learning, but Hush Money is the only one that I want to actually, be excited for getting done. I've always been about 18 manifold. It's the best bang for the buck. I scored one for $100 on eBay. About to take the Fox out for a morning cruise. The cars and coffee since the weather is great in SoCal. Happy New Year's. If we don't hear from you Tuesday, you will not hear. Wait, Tuesday? What's Tuesday? Wait, Tuesday's not the 31st, is it? No, of course I'll be on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be on Tuesday, but I'm not going to stay on till midnight. That's psychotic behavior. Taylor says, I asked years ago when the 10RD shit was still pretty new. Long time watcher, never really remember you answering. I know it's kind of app specific, but what horsepower do you think a 10RD is hurting ETs? Stock. A stock 10R80 is getting hurt. Okay, in stock levels, because it's in the programming, it's in the valve body, it's in whatever, and it's in the hardware. The hardware just doesn't hold up to like the 6R80s do. So it's just something you're gonna have to deal with, honestly. Like you can go low nines with a 10R80 bone stock. You could go low nines like 930, 940, bone stock 10R80 car with a blower on it, no problem. After that. And the car's gonna hunt for shifts at part throttle. It's gonna be weird, but anything quicker than a low 9, you're going to have to build it and then build it again and again and again and again and again, because the 10R80 doesn't have similar clamping power than the 6R80 does. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me for a little bit on this final Peasant Chat of the year. We've had a great 2024 with the Peasants. We've had some not so great luck with the vehicles that I've got going on, but at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like the name of the game. Nothing you can do about it except just, luckily I have the funds and the means to rebuild it. So I'll do my best to get Donnie back up and running. I'm still waiting for the blower to be done for the GT500. The Corvette, believe it or not, is going to make some quick progress starting next week. And I'm hoping to get most of the motor, power adder, and everything fitted onto the car before the end of January. And if that's the case, then it's control system, wiring, all this other shit that is probably going to take long. But in terms of getting the motor running, I think that can be done in a decent amount of time. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Lund Racing is not going to be back until January 2nd. So you're not going to get your tunes until at least Thursday. So I'm going to have the next first half of the week off. So I'll try to get as much done as possible, get you content, get you guys caught up on what's going on.